many days away is Christmas now? 10. Does it seem like it just came and it's like ready, it's going to be here and then it's going to be gone? Because that's how it happens. So, so there's many aspects to Christmas. And what I'd like to hear from you is some call outs about what is it that you love about Christmas? And presents. Good, Shar. Love. Lights. Friends. Food. Cooking. Family. Candles. What's over here? Beauty. Peaceful quiet. Slowing down. Christ consciousness. Say again? Snow. Yeah, the white Christmas. Spiritual community. Well, I think I've heard plenty. I did not hear music. Interesting. Thank you. I'm glad you said that because I'm going to talk about music as part of the talk today. So, music. So how many of you love Christmas songs and carols? Okay? How many of you don't really like Christmas songs? Okay, well, you're being shy if you didn't. How many of you maybe are indifferent to Christmas carols, or it depends upon the song? Okay, just kind of covering all the bases. So I'll be honest with you. I'm not someone who actually really likes many of the Christmas carols. Some of them I do. And I'm going to tell you why, okay? Okay, thanks. Need permission. No. Glad you said okay, because personally, there's two reasons. Number one is I don't resonate with many of the Christmas carols because so many of them are very much with lyrics that are traditionally Christian-based and emphasize Jesus as the Savior. We in Unity don't believe Jesus is a Savior who is the only one and only Son of God, who we must confess our sins, which we also don't necessarily believe in, where we see ourselves as the divine, and that we have to give ourselves to Jesus in order to go to heaven when we die. We don't have that belief system. We look at the Bible and the stories in a more metaphysical way. And so in Unity, we see Jesus as one of the greatest metaphysicians, teachers, and way-showers. He was the person who understood the universal life principles and that everything is built on what we believe and love. Those were his teachings, every single one of them. It's about love and forgiveness and about these universal teachings that it is done unto you as you believe. And sometimes we have hidden beliefs. So that is who Jesus is to us. And he said, everything he can do, we can do. And do you believe that? And are you doing that? Contemplate that. And we can aspire to that. Okay, I aspire to be unconditional love for myself and others. I aspire to learn and to practice the teachings and work with my little mind, which sometimes has beliefs that don't serve me. So I'm going to replace them. So that's the main reason, but there's another reason. Now, how many of you, well, I'm pretty sure you know this song, so I'm going to start it off, and you can join me. Deck the halls with boughs of holly, fa la 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 la. 'Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la. Good. I was practicing choir direction. I don't know if that's what they do. So the purpose, there's one line I don't like in the song. 'Tis the season to be jolly. It bothers me because the truth is not everybody's jolly during this holiday season. There's actually more depression, more sadness, because people miss those that they love. There might be some grief. There might be some loneliness, right? So I don't want to sit and go, I'm jolly when I'm not. And it also puts pressure on us. If we're feeling down, we feel like maybe guilty because I'm not feeling like jolly. And it's like, 'tis the season. I even asked Carol because it was in the Christmas Carol medley that we're doing for this. I said, I'm going to ask that you remove the fa la 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 song, because I can't come up here and say, I'm not good with the 'Tis the Season to Be Jolly, and then we're singing it, right? That just is incongruent. Now, some of you, it may be a jolly time, but I really want to honor the fact that it is not necessarily jolly for all people. And we need to give each other that space and that love and that respect to be whatever you're being. It's not necessarily true that it's time to be happy. There might be some happy moments. You might enjoy watching the lights, but if you feel down, it's okay. And I'm going to be honest with you. I myself have been struggling with, did you know that ministers can be depressed? It's true. Now, when I'm with my community, when I'm with others, I am not depressed because I love connecting. Some of you know that I went to Hawaii for a week and have been asking me and want to know, how's Hawaii? And I really wish I hadn't told anybody I was going to Hawaii. Why? Because I have proven that you can go spend a week in Hawaii and be depressed. Did you know that that's possible? Well, I decided I wanted to see if that was true. And wherever I go, there I am. And to be honest, part of that was I went to the Big Island. And the last 2 times I was on the Big Island was when my last time was with my wife. And it was the last time I was physically with her. And she passed 3 months later. And the time before that was honeymoon. So between the fact that there was only memories of my beloved everywhere, and the other part was how much I was doing everything by myself, I didn't have anybody to share the experiences with. Loneliness is not something I want to sign up for. I can do stuff by myself, and it's fine, but I learned that it's not fun. Doing stuff by myself is fine, but for me, fun is including another. And I looked at those 2 words and I said, fine has an I in the middle. Fun has a U in the middle. It's either doing things fine, solo, or it's fun because it's us. Just, as I contemplate in all the time that I was there. So, thank you for not asking me any more about Hawaii. I'm like, it was what it was. It was necessary. I think part of it was I needed to go there and grieve because I didn't have any distractions from home. Who knew? But Spirit probably said I needed to have this opportunity to cry every day and be depressed. And I'm like, okay, this is interesting. But I want you to get the point that it's okay to be what you're being, because we need to be what we're being and be honest with it. And not feel shame or like I'm not being the happy yippee-doo person all the time. In fact, a lot of times I'm not. But when I'm here, I am, because you are the joy that you bring me joy. So, so that's that part. So I want to shift into today's talk title, which is the gifts, because there's gifts in everything, even the darkness. We're coming into the darkest time, and we need to honor. If you're feeling low, do some journaling. Honor those feelings. Don't try to push them away. That's not going to help. We need to move through them and be with them, and to be with what is. So gifts. I'm going to go into a little bit more on the gift level. So we give gifts to many people during the season. Actually, December is known as the gift-giving season. And how many of you have ever received a gift? How many of you have ever given a gift? Of course, that's part of our being who we are. And we give gifts often to our significant others, our family, our friends, our coworkers. Back in the day, I think they used to give gifts to the post person, back in the day. We might be giving gifts to strangers if you're doing a Toys for Tots. There's also gift exchanges, and then there's the white elephant, right, that people like to do for the funny little gifts. So we have, my favorite time of gift giving was, actually I didn't give the gifts, but I was part of it. I got to play Santa at a group home for abused and neglected kids. I worked the night shift. That's why I stay up till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, often because I'm still on that schedule. I'm just that. But in the middle of the night, when the kids are sleeping, I got to take these big bags of their goodies and put them under the tree. And then the other staff would come in at 6, and the kids would get up around 6:30, and I got to be there. That was so much fun. Christmas, that energy of play and having those kids, well, I think we've all been there. So why do we give gifts? Why do we give gifts? And I came up with 3 thoughts on that. Number 1 is obligation. You know, you feel obliged to give a gift, especially if it's family, I guess. Then there's tradition. You know, it's the tradition to give gifts, or have a gift exchange party with these people. So those are 2. But the third one is, why do we give gifts? It's because there's love. And there's 3 levels of this love that we are giving from. And we give, and I call it the AAA of gifts of love. First of all, if I'm coming from that love, I'm going to give the gift of acknowledgement. I think of you. If I don't think of you, you're not getting a gift, so don't take it personally. By the way, I'm not into the material gifts, just FYI. I like the intangible gifts, but we'll get into that in a bit. So there is what did I just say? Acknowledgement. You know, I thought about you, and so I got you a little something. Then there is appreciation. I have appreciation. So I'm going to give a gift to my staff, to Brendan, who has the voice of a radio man. I'm telling you. He's actually helping out a radio station thing. I told him he has to get a job there. Anyway, I'm back on stage. So it's appreciation. I appreciate you. I'm giving you a gift because I do appreciate you, and I want to show you that through a gift. And then the third one is affection. I might have affection for my beloved, right? And so I want to give my beloved, somebody who I have affection for, a gift. So these are the ways of giving tangible gifts. But then we have the intangible, the invisible gifts of love. And I'm going to share what those are. Ready? Yes. Okay. Well, it's KFC. What does KFC stand for? What's the first thing that comes to your mind? So, you want some Kentucky Fried Chicken? Nope. Not me either. But KFC, and some of you like acronyms and some of you don't, and my apologies, but I like KFC, especially when it's the part of intangible love that it stands for. K stands for kindness, F for forgiveness, and C for compassion. So I'm going to just touch briefly on these because these are all words that you're familiar with. However, when it comes down to, we'll go with the K first, kindness. And I'm going to give you a couple pieces of the kindness. You've all heard love is patient and love is kind. Love is does not envy, boast, or proud. What I like to invite you to do is to where it says love is patient. What if you are love? So you get to say, I am patient. I am kind. I don't envy. I don't boast. I am not proud. So put yourself into that phrase. I am kind. I am patient. And feel into it as a meditation. The other piece, how many of you have ever heard of the random acts of kindness? Yeah. Well, I have a couple slips of paper, sheets of paper that I'm going to make some copies of after the service, and so that you can have. These are 50 fun, and if it's not fun, don't do it. But 50 fun kindness ideas to celebrate kindness. And so these are fun because you might wonder, and when there's 50 possibilities, this is kind of fun to look at and go, oh, I could do that. And you start highlighting. Yeah, so I have two of them. One of them, and I was like, well, I'm going to make copies of both. The other one is Random Acts of Kindness for Kids. And all of these are just so fun. And when I was in Tahoe as the minister there, I was totally getting into the Random Acts of Kindness. So I took little Post-it notes, and I would put an affirmation on it. And it was like, you are beautiful. You are the divine. You are being watched over by the divine. I'm so grateful for you. I put these, I made a whole bunch of them. And then when I would go to the rec center, somehow they got stuck on people's windows, right? On their door that they would open, and there's a little note. You are beautiful. You are kind. You are a gift to the world. It was fun, but I didn't want anybody to see me either, so it got to be like, okay. So these are just some ideas of how to expand in our kindness. You all know what it means to be kind, and how can we expand upon it? Next is forgiveness. And forgiveness is really, I don't even necessarily like the word forgiveness. For me, what forgiveness really is, it's release. Because if I forgive Shar for something, couldn't help it, had to pick on you. If I forgive you, it's almost like I'm better than you, I'm higher than you. Well, obviously I am in the moment, but you made a mistake, and I am big enough to forgive you, right? That doesn't work in my world. I'm releasing my judgment because it's not what you did, it's my judgment of what you did. Maybe you were doing the best you knew how, right? Maybe you were doing the best you knew how, but I'm judging you as being something other than a divine being. I want to come back to you are a divine being. So am I. And we're going to make mistakes. But so I just like to go back into the forgiveness, and you've heard me talk about forgiveness before. There's the Ho'oponopono prayer, which I think is so simple. It's just to say, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. And I love you. And the other one is, I release you. I release you. I bless you. I release, because I believe release is peace, and I've loved that they rhyme. So when I release, there is peace. I release, there is peace. I'm releasing it because I don't want to carry around my judgment. It's heavy, and it doesn't keep me open. So that is the idea on our forgiveness. And Jesus, our great way shower, I mean, he was the type of person, he's actually saying, forgive them for they know not what they do. I like to add, they know not who they are. If they knew that they were a divine being, and they felt that, and they knew that about you, so it's about forgive. Let it go. Life is too short to hang on to stuff, in my opinion. It's an energy drain, and I want to be free. And actually, in my file cabinet, forgiveness is the file right before freedom. Isn't that interesting? Say it again. Isn't that interesting? Better. Okay. And last but not least is the C for compassion. How many of you were here last week? Yes, beautiful talk. Yvette Trujillo gave a talk on, and I got to listen to it, and I thought, she's talking to me. And so she really brings compassion into the mix. And if you haven't heard it, you can go on our website, you can go to our YouTube channel, you can go on Facebook, because it is posted there, and you can re-listen to it. But it's really about remembering to be compassionate. Because when you think about it, every person in this room has a challenge, okay? Every person has something that is a challenge. There isn't a person on this earth that doesn't have a challenge. They may deny it, but the truth is we all have a challenge or two or more. And when I feel that realization, even people that are being not behaving well, they have challenges. Maybe they don't have the skill set to be able to process their feelings. Can I be compassionate? My goal is to bring kindness, forgiveness, and compassion into my everyday life as the gift of love that I would offer to each other. And in closing, I used to do a lot of inner child work by writing. And in my inner child work, I would write with my right hand. And then I did with my non-dominant hand. And I wrote this, do I have a date? 12/19/98. And it's about, I was sitting at the soup plantation, feeling sad right now. What's so sad, little Liz? And I'm like, so I wrote in my left hand all of this. And then I wrote a poem. So I'm going to read you my poem, because it's about the intangible gift. This Christmas, I ask, what does my heart want to say? It says it wants Christmas to be different in the following ways. It says, I don't want to shop and search for that one special thing of love and good tidings that this season brings. I don't want to stress or do the have-tos or shoulds, spending I wish I had, spending money I don't even have and wishing I could. As I think about Christmas, I ask, what does it mean? What is its spirit behind all that's seen? To me, Christmas is love of the very best kind, love that unites all and leaves no one behind. Love is what's invisible. It lives in my heart. It's not in the stuff we buy, although that's often a part. For me, love is more than just spending money. It's sharing my heart when it's cloudy or sunny. This Christmas I have no presents to share. My gift is myself, my heart that does care. So my Christmas wish for you this year is for you to know that I hold you very dear. For I see in you what I see in me, the priceless gift of being, love, perfect and free. And so it is.